Hi, this is Harish here. Welcome to DB2 TSA MP tutorial part 10. In this tutorial, I want to talk about how to backup and restore TSA domain configuration, creation or recreation of the TSA domain. The scripts I'm using, the data files that I'm using are available for free download at db2luwacademy.blogspot.com. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/db2luwacademy. Now, this slide talks about the problem scenario and the solution. The problem scenario is we have a TSA HADR, like we have a HADR database configured with TSA automation and everything is running in peer state. The configuration has been done using the DB2 Haiku tool. And for some reason, the TSA setup gets messed up, like completely unknown reasons. So we don't know network failure or the TSA status and the HADR status, like they are not matching. It says that pending online, offline, failed offline, all these statuses, they don't add up to what it is required. Maybe you're having a bad day or some configuration issue with TSA, or this automated stuff is doing something which is not what we intend to. So when such a situation occurs, how to get back to the normal situation, like from the DB2 side. So if always like fix the TSA issue first, try to debug the TSA logs and try to understand what is happening, why it is not resetting or something like that. So only if no other option exists and like you don't have any TSA experts, so from the DB2 side you just want to just, if somebody suggests to delete the domain and just recreate the domain, and let's go with that approach as a worst case scenario. In that case, it is really helpful. So how to do that? Like you don't want the overhead of configuring the TSA with HADR using the DB2 Haiku tool. Again, it is a lengthy process. You feel kind of apprehended because of that. So what you can do is, once the TSA is up and running and everything is in a good state, back up the configuration using the db2 haiku command to an XML file. And this needs to be done both on the primary and the standby. And once you do that, you can, like once the problem occurs and you have the XML file, you can always restore the XML file for recreation of the new domain or configuration, like restoring the configuration like that. And before doing that, obviously delete the TSA configuration using db2 haiku delete. So without any further delay, let's just go into an example. Okay, the system is really slow. Okay. Let's close this as usual. So here I have, like you can see that so this is my standby system. It is in peer state, and you can see this is going to be my primary system and it is in peer state. So from a db2 standpoint, everything is fine. And lssam, obviously the output is now okay, but if for some reason I want to delete all these domain and start from the scratch or something like that, right? So if some problem happens and I want to do that, so what I can do is I can just go and run db2 okay. Before deleting, I need to take the backup, right? So so to take the backup, I'll say db2 haiku hyphen, okay, let's check the command, db2 haiku hyphen o, okay, db2 haiku hyphen o TSA. Okay, you can give like any name. I'm just going to say TSA-s.xml. So that needs to be run on standby. So this is my standby, db2 haiku hyphen o TSA dash s, which is like standby.xml. So the instance configuration, the cluster configuration is getting exported into an XML file. Done. So I should have an XML file here. So more TSA-s.xml. Okay. So this is how the XML file looks. I'll not get into this in more detail, but this is how the XML file looks. Same thing I'll have to do on my here. So db2 haiku hyphen a TSA hyphen primary. So this is going to be primary.xml. So I'll run it on that also. So there will be two files. One is for the primary and another is for the standby. Okay. So once I do this, after this, let's say after like some, okay, let's look at the XML file, more tsa.primary.xml. And once I have this and everything is up and running and once in, like, after some time, like some issue occurs and some resource gets into offline, something is happening on the TSA side, and they want you to just reset everything, create a new domain, like that's fine with them. So the most simple way to do that would be to run the db2 haiku delete, so which will delete the domain. Okay, removing HADR database from the domain, remaining the partition, removing the database partition, everything done. So you can do the same thing here also. So db2 HAICU hyphen delete. So that will also do that. Okay, removing the database partition from this successful, everything done. So now if I, so still you can see that the database is up and running. So this is running as standby and peer connected, and this is running as primary and peer connected. So there is no change over there, but the LSSAM, there is no domain, LSRP domain, so there is it's completely deleted. So what I'll be doing is running this thing again. Like for example, I want to run db2 haiku -ftsa.xml. Okay, so db2 haiku -ftsa.xml on the standby first. So I'll go to run this on the standby. So to recreate the configuration -stsas.xml. That is, it's a very simple command, very powerful. So it's recreating the domain. You can see that creating domain TSA dome in the cluster, and it is using this XML file. So obviously I have given the -f option with -s as the TSA-ns.xml, and it is recreating the domain, and it's going to take a lot of time. Maybe I don't know, because the domain was not there, right? So LSRP domain. So you can see that the domain is getting created and it is getting online. You need to run it on the standby first, then you will have to run it on the db2 -f TSA -p.xml. But let's just wait for the completion in the TSA dome. See, it is creating the domain. It's still doing something, I don't know. Yeah, my machine is, in any case, is not like a powerful machine, so it's going to be slow only. So let's just wait for some time and see. Okay, it's configuring the quorum device and it is successful, and adding network interface cards, and that is also successful, and again adding some interface cards and adding database partition to the cluster. I think it should not add the database or something. I'm not sure. Let's just check that out. I'm just running along with you right now. So all the cluster configuration is done and successful. So it's kind of creating the domain, it's kind of configuring the quorum device, everything is done, and something it says on the standby, but the database cannot be added. But I'll just leave it as of now. So we'll just run the primary.xml. I think that should fix the issue. Okay, so LSRP domain, the domain is online, and okay, let's just go back to that and say what it says. The HADR determined to fail for high availability. Database cannot be added to the cluster. This node is a standby. I don't know. I thought I just need to run it on the standby first, but let's just run it again. So if you run it on the primary, it should fix that error that we are getting. Okay. Let's see. Okay. It's still discovering all the paths, configuring the quorum device for the TSA dome and network adapter. It's already there, so it's not adding it. Couple of the ENS33 is already defined, so adding the database partition to the cluster. I think now we should add the database, which is here on the primary side. Okay, let's just do that. Yes, adding HADR database to the domain. I think now it should be successful. Let's wait for that. And once you do that, you should look at your LSSAM output and it should be fine. Like right now okay, it's still adding. Right now the TSA dome is online and it is still adding HADB to the domain. Hope it will be successful without any issues. It's taking a little bit of time though, Let's see. Okay, all cluster configurations done successfully. So LSSAM. Okay, it's getting online. It's still getting online. I think you'll have to wait for some time so that it becomes online. There you go. Everything became online. So that's powerful. That's really simple. You can just back up the XML file and restore the XML file. It's as simple as that. Okay, hope this information was useful to you. So thank you for watching this video and subscribe to the channel youtube.com/tb2lew academy. See you in the next video tutorial. Until then, bye bye.